Okay, this was not what I thought I was going to be doing to start the season here at FC United. A job interview has come in, and whilst there's been a few job interviews over the last few seasons, they've always been to teams either below us in our own league or even in the leagues below us. But an interview has appeared from Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace, relegated from the Premier League last summer, had a Tycoon takeover 2 years ago. Duan Xin is their chairman. He is investing a lot of money into this club, £157 million bank balance at Crystal Palace. And, well, apparently they want me to maybe be the manager. So, job interview. I'm going to do the interview and I'll be back in a mo. Run the intro. Am I going to be moving clubs today? No, the answer's no, that they've turned me down. Well, this is awkward. FC United Championship season. I guess I'll join you for the first game of the year, which I believe is against Reading. Yes, folks, how is it going? And now, welcome back. This is episode 45 at FC United. What looked like it could be maybe the final episode at FC United isn't. We're now here at the start of the season. I originally did intend to include the interview and stuff for Crystal Palace and then have a big dilemma today of, oh, will we or won't we take the job? And then they didn't give me the job. So instead, we're just here for the start of a normal season episode. Of course, the question is going to be asked, would I have actually gone to Crystal Palace? And the answer is yes, I probably would have done. But they didn't give me the job, so it doesn't really matter. Of course, they have been taken over by a tycoon. They have a ridiculous amount of money. It would have given us the opportunity to maybe buy a load of players from FC United, help them out maybe a little bit financially, and, well, take a job that obviously would be a really, really interesting project for FM22. That said, they didn't give me the job offer, so I don't have to worry about should I or shouldn't I have taken it. I would be interested to know, actually, down in the comments. Let's boost the engagement early today. Would you have gone to Crystal Palace? Would you have wanted me to go to Crystal Palace, I suppose, is the other thing. Of course, the going is getting tough here now at FC United, and I'm sure for some of you, you don't want to see me just leg it like I did at Three Bridges. The good news is there isn't going to be any of that because, well, I didn't get the job offer. Anyway, I should acknowledge the elephant in the room. We are using a new skin today in Football Manager, so everything looks a little bit different. I appreciate if you're just used to the default skin, it might feel a little bit jarring. I promise you'll get used to it. If you want to download this skin, I will link it down in the description. It only supports 1920 by 1080 displays, so if you're on a lower resolution laptop, the skin won't work for you. I'm sorry, but some of the really nice things about this skin, it gives us a way better snapshot of players when we click on them. We can acknowledge the fact that Stephen Gold loves important matches, is very consistent, and the fans love him. We can see him compared to all the other players in the team. And additionally, one of my favourite features about this is you can see of the team's last 20 games how often players are featured and how they've actually done over those last 20 games, which I feel like with a YouTube series where we go into the future intermittently, obviously months at a time, it's sometimes nice if you miss an episode or two to be able to look at a player and kind of get an idea of how much they're actually featuring in the first team. Anyway, it's the start of a new season. You know what that means. It means I've been busy in the transfer market. And well, first and foremost, let's talk about a couple of things. Bank balance, very, very positive. I made a big point this summer of not spending a load of money, not splurging all our transfer budget on players that maybe weren't going to be that great, and instead looking to capitalise on the team climbing up through the divisions, the value of our players going up because the reputation of the club's gone up, and in turn selling on a few players for some money. Elsewhere, worth acknowledging as well, we have moved out of our stadium for the season. We have moved into Addons ground, which is Boundary Park. We are here until the end of this season, whilst our stadium, Broadhurst Park, gets some seats put in. So anyway, let's talk about the transfers in and out. And to be honest, there's not been that much done because we haven't had the money to get that much done. One thing that I think we have to acknowledge is a massive yellow spike of sales in our kind of transfer history. Yes, £1.9 million made in sales. The bulk of that from Yolo Francis, a man who never even played for our first team. We signed him on a free from Liverpool. He was a winger who I originally was going to train to play centre mid, but ultimately loaned out a few times over the last few years. Last year, he was playing for Stevenage. I wanted to sell him. I didn't think we'd get that much for him. And then Bournemouth bid 1.5 million. So I just kind of waved goodbye to him and we sent him on his merry way down to the south coast. It's a crazy amount of money received. He's inconsistent. He's injury prone. It's silly, frankly. They were willing to spend that much. I'm not going to complain. The other player that's left for a big chunk of money, another player going to Bournemouth actually, Matt Hill. You might remember this guy. I think I mentioned him in one episode. We signed him from Dortmund after he was released. He was given a work permit. Last year he was on loan at Solihull Moors, and then Bournemouth again. Apparently Bournemouth have too much money. They've spent £425,000 on him, never played a game for our first team, but between those two sales, 1.9 million made. Combine that with club membership sales, season ticket sales, the financial situation at this club in terms of bank balance is the best it's ever been. And just to acknowledge that influx of money, you can see here the money we've made this year. £2 million in players sold, sponsorship £500,000, gate receipts 420k, some TV revenue already coming in for the championship. Last year, we got practically no money from League One. We got 443,000 across the entire year. So already looking like we are going to be pretty healthy financially this year. Someone asked me a really interesting question, actually, in the Discord server that we have. If you don't have Discord or you've never been on the WorkTheSpace Discord server, it's linked down below. It's a big kind of group chat, text chat, voice chat as well. I have my own server. You can go and talk with people about Football Manager there. But someone asked me the question of, Jack, you know, with the Championship, would you want to get promoted to the Championship? Would you rather stay in League One for a year and kind of steady the ship? And I do feel like if we'd stayed in League One for a few more years, financially it would have got to a point where I'm kind of stuck. I can't make enough money to offset the amount of money we've lost. So in getting a quick promotion out of that division, we've got in this situation where the rep is higher. I've sold on some players that last year I couldn't have dreamed of selling for £2 million. And hopefully that's going to be a trend that can continue. Pre-season billing, we are predicted to finish rock bottom. My face is in the way. I'm kind of glad of that. It's a bit shameful when your name appears at the bottom. Yeah, we've got a long, long way to go. Our salary per year is £2.86 million. Salford is the next lowest at £5.41 million. Plymouth, predicted to finish in the drop zone, spend almost £12 million a year. We are a small fish in an ocean. We're like a goldfish in the Atlantic. It's going to be tough. But in order to make that adapting easier, I've attempted to sign some players to solve problems that we had in the team. So let's talk about these signings. The first, Sam Wallace, one for the future, 18 years old, released from Everton. Everton, of course, our affiliate club. You might have noticed a lack of Everton loans. I've tried to loan 5 different players from Everton. Every single one has turned down the option to come to us. Our reputation is just so low. They have absolutely no interest, which kind of sucks because I thought that affiliation was going to help us this year. And it's not going to help at all. In fact, you can see here, if we look at a list of English clubs sorted by reputation, where are we? We are down here as a championship club below Blackpool in League 2, and every single team in League 1 is ahead of us on rep. It really hindered my ability to sign players this year, which I guess is both a negative and a positive. It meant I couldn't go and overspend on players, but equally, when you are a low rep team and you have a bit more money than we have, you can sometimes pull players in with money. You can use your spending power to kind of lure them into the club. That was never really an option here. Anyway, a couple of other players we picked up. Robbie Fraser joins us on a free. He is a Scottish left-back, 27 years old. Really solid current ability. We've needed new full-backs for a while. This man is a big upgrade on Regan Booty, who, of course, was our left-back last year. Regan, by the way, just vibing in the under-18s. Really, he's out of contract, and I should just release him, but I'd almost feel guilty if I left him without a job. So for now, he gets to just vibe with the kids in the under-18s. Maybe he can, you know, show them some of AOK's antics and hit the town. You can see, though, Robbie Fraser, a big upgrade, has become the highest earner at the club on £4,000 a week, so a little bit of expectation on his shoulders this year. Elsewhere in the team, we've picked up Rowan Smith, a former Crystal Palace trainee, very good player, great teamwork, great work rate, determination, aggression, balance. He's got some really good standout attributes. He's also got some that are a little bit lacking. For us this year, he is going to play as a central midfielder on defend. The only thing he's really lacking in his game is the ability to tackle and, well, concentrate. However, I'm hoping with his aggression, his good decisions, and his aforementioned teamwork and work rate, he's going to be a player who really slots into the midfield this year and can play a whole host of roles as well, which is, of course, really useful when we play a trio in the middle. Elsewhere, Hamza Ali finally joined the club. This was one of our many youngsters that we've had signed and planned to join for a while. He's gone back on loan to Egypt, playing for Haras Al Hadud. almost certainly said that team wrong. They play in the Egyptian 2nd Division. They've got a cool badge, even if it is a little garish. It's not great, is it? It's the Border Guard Club. The more I look at it, the worse it gets. I thought it looked cool to begin with. I think I was tricked by the cool kind of head on the top of it. Is that a pyramid? I don't know. Let's move on. Another youngster we've had to wait a while to join the club is Skander Kabou. This man is a Tunisian under-20 international, 18 years old, joined us on a freebie, was on trial for the previous 2 years at the club. He's gone back on loan to play in Tunisia, one of our many youngsters without a work permit. And last but not least, a youngster who does have a work permit. Miracles do happen. We have here Denilson, who still doesn't have a squad number because he joined us a couple of days ago. He's jetted in from Brazil. This man has a work permit. This man is going to be playing centre-back for us this year. Despite his age, has played a lot of first-team football. AC Milan were looking at him, allegedly, so that can only be a good sign. We picked him up for £100,000, only had 6 months left of his contract. I'm very excited about him. He could be the first great wonder kid signed for FC United. Now, in terms of signing players this year, I put a lot of money into the scouting budget by rejigging some of the transfer budget, especially after we made sales. I then upped the recruitment package. I did have it on worldwide for a little bit, but I've since lowered it to just within Europe. And for people who don't know, especially when you're managing in England and work permits can be a pain in the butt, one of the best filters that you can use if you just use the drop down is under transfer, and then you have work permit chance. And then if you put it to work permit likely and then based not in the UK and Ireland, you can see here a whole host of youngsters who will likely get a work permit if you tried to sign them that you might not have necessarily expected would actually get work permits. You can see with a lot of these players, I've been scouting them, I've been looking at them, a few of them slightly out of our price range, but still a few more budget ones I am looking to sign, a couple of them waiting on scout reports. One such player is Victor Kabrasic. I've almost certainly said this name wrong. 17 years old. Looks like at the moment he could be a really good player playing for Zagreb. He's already got under 21 caps. We have agreed to sign him for £30,000. I am waiting to confirm that until after my scouts have come back and told me if he's good or not. As you can see here, they're a little bit busy at the moment with scout reports and stuff, but in the next week we should know if Victor's good, and he could follow in the footsteps of Stephen Gold, being a striker with weirdly low finishing, who we look to rely on for the next few years. Worth noting, even if we do agree to sign him, he won't join us till he turns 18 in January. Just on the topic of youngsters, besides Amadou Ba, all the other youngsters that we've been hoarding over the last few years yet to get work permits, they're all out on loan at various different clubs. Few of them probably would have been quite useful for the first team, but it is what it is. We're going to hope they get some regular first team football, hope they can develop. Worst case scenario, we sell them on for some good profit. Best case, some of these develop into world beaters who in the next few years are going to help us in a push towards Premier League football. So one of my favourite things about this skin is the fact that we have all the player faces on the tactics screen. I feel like it makes it more personable. I don't know, I can imagine them in the dressing room more when I can see all their faces laid out in front of me. This is the team to start this year. McDonald, look, he was absolutely amazing for us last year. Question marks over. Is he going to be able to continue to develop? Apparently, he only has potential to be a Sky Bet League 1 player. Apparently, right now, he's a Sky Bet League 2 player. I don't agree with the coach's assessment of that. I am aware our squad is weaker than pretty much every other team in the division. I feel like that is kind of inevitable when our wage budget is so much lower. We've got to deal with what we have. And of course, when it comes to what we have, we do have a new look back four. Amadou Ba, already mentioned this man. He picked up a work permit towards the end of last season whilst out on loan in the Bundesliga 2. I like the look of him a lot. He's been playing international football for Guinea. He is going to be our right back for this year, replacing Thomas Sang and Dylan Crow, both who remain at the club, at least for now. Don't come for me, fan club, just yet. Over at left back, we've got Fraser. Denilson's in the middle, and Shipley, I've decided, is the man to start at centre-back. He was our backup last year for a lot of it. He was kind of the Terry Taylor alternative when it came to centre-backs. However, this year, we're stepping up a division. I think defending capabilities are going to be more and more important than ever with our team. For that reason, despite only being a backup last year, I am promoting Lewis Shipley. Of course, if it doesn't work out, we've still got Terry Taylor at the club. We've also still got Quanta at the club, Sam Bird as well. We have got plenty of options on the bench. In fact, you can see the three men I've mentioned there taking up 3 of the spots. When we move up into the midfield, not a lot changing here in terms of starting team for the first game of the year. Lewis O'Donnell, standout performer, signing of the season last year, starts at right centre mid. At left centre mid, we go with Butterworth. He's got to make a very, very big step up this year. Am I nervous for him? Yes. Do I think he'll be able to make the step up? There's a big question mark, but I think that applies to a lot of our team this year. He's a leader in the dressing room, an important part of our team. He has bailed me out of all kinds of unhappy player situations. I want to keep faith with him. Of course, he's now been at the club for 6 seasons, and he was playing for us way back in the Vanarama National League North. He had a breakout year last year, arguably his best season ever. Maybe he could make the step up to the Championship alongside players like Sule in the centre defensive mid position. He's consistent. He loves important matches. Question mark. Apparently he's okay, that's just wrong, isn't it? He is not a leading player for most Vanarama National League sides. That is incorrect. Wrong. Whoever's providing these coach reports, they need to sort it out. And up top, we're going with the trio that scored over 80 goals between them in the league last year. It is going to be Joe Duffy at centre attacking mid. And up top, it is going to be the 2 non-league superstars, Stephen Gold, 200 goals to his name in FC United colours. His 5 finishing combined with his great important matches, consistency, means that I am going to keep faith with him. At the moment, he does have a slight concern because I told Schalke when they came in for him, I wanted 7.5 million. I wasn't going to sell Stephen Gold. It was meant to be a price to tell Schalke to do one. Has it worked? Yes. He's a bit unhappy with me, but he'll get over it. It'll be fine. There was no chance I was going to sell Stephen. He's still got 4 years left on his current deal. And another striker with plenty of time left on his current deal, Grant Nesbitt, 5 years, his current contract at the club on £2,000 a week. Got loads of goals and assists last year. 11 player of the matches. Was arguably our best player last year in terms of his contributions going forward. And we need more from him this year. You can see apparently he is a good player for the Championship. Great physicals, question marks perhaps over his technicals. I feel like at the lower levels of football, physicals can carry you quite far. In the Championship, I think we are kind of now reaching a world where all the other teams have players with physicals as good as our players with good physicals. I mean, it's going to be tough. We don't have any players in the Media Dream 11. In terms of all the players in the league sorted by ability, Nesbitt and Bart are our 2 players. They are 2 of the worst 4 key players in the entire league in the eyes of the media. Yeah, I'm nervous for this season. So before we hop into today's first game, which is a lovely easy game, we've got Reading, who were relegated from the Premier League last year. Just a quick look at the club vision. Expectation for this year is fight bravely against relegation. My personal goal, I'd like us to try and stay up. If we could get mid-table, that would be awesome. I'm conscious of the fact that over the last few years, we've been promoted and I've kind of gone, yeah, mid-table would be nice. It's going to be tough. I really do mean it this year. My expectations are the lowest they've been. If we avoid relegation, I would probably consider that a successful year. It is going to be tough. And I'm aware of that. Even after the transfers that I've done, we're a long way off the pace and off the quality required, I think, to really be competitive in this division every single weekend. As I mentioned already, today's opposition in Reading have been a yo-yo team over the last few years. They finished 20th in the Premier League. They're going to want to bounce back. Media prediction of 4th. I believe our media prediction is bottom. Yes, it is. So when it comes to our team, we've already run through the starting 11, but on the bench, Quanta, Bird, Terry Taylor. We've got Rowan Smith, one of our new signings in here, a player who may find himself breaking into the first team as the season goes on. I really do like the 27-year-old. Elsewhere, Darren Richards, Cannonier and Maitland make up the bench. We do have the money to bring in new players, but one of the big stumbling blocks I'm having is our reputation is so low, I can't actually attract players of Championship quality because by the entire footballing world, we are kind of viewed as a League 2 rep side. And yeah, that definitely makes signing players difficult. Now, we need to give Denilson a number. I'm giving him the number 6. And that is going to be us ready for this game. Denilson signed for £100,000, as I mentioned already. He arrived in on a plane from Brazil less than a week ago. He can't speak a word of English, but he's Brazilian and he got a work permit. And therefore, he must be good. He must be good. I'm trying to reassure myself here. He's going to be good. I'm confident. I've got faith in him. Probably you also should acknowledge we are away from home for this game. So if we could just be competitive, that would be nice, he says, as Reading have a corner. Free header at the back post. Fraser gets it off the line. Not exactly the first highlight we wanted. This is better. Butterworth hits it from range and hits the crossbar. A man who's been with us pretty much every step of the way. Very nearly got us off to the perfect start in the Championship. We do still have a corner. It's not found Stephen Gold's forehead, and they head it away. And well, now they have a free kick of their own. It's Brereton Diaz, and then it's Deli Bashiru who scores, and it's a set piece, something that we were traditionally quite good at during the early days of Park to Prem, especially at Three Bridges. But we now are entering a world where other players can actually jump that we come up against, and while Reading's players can definitely jump, they make it 1-0. Gordon to Cordova, tries to play through Brereton Diaz. Denilson on a booking already on his debut. I'm scared for him, but let's hope he can be well behaved as Duffy looks to bring the ball forward. Of course, we want to see Stephen Gold get at least 1 goal in the championship. He was our big goal scoring forward last year. I feel like both he and Nesbitt are going to be integral to any chance we have at kind of staying up this year. We need them to get firing on all cylinders. A goal in the first game would certainly ease my nerves and my reservations I have around them. I feel like they've earned the opportunity to be given a chance in this division. And while we've been given a gift here, Nesbitt, one-on-one, misses it. And then, well, McDonald plays it forward. Duffy, free header. Butterworth in that half space out wide. Fraser, the highest earner at the club at left back. £4,000 is a crazy amount of money for us. Compared to the rest of the division, it's peanuts, but that's the difference between us. And then suddenly, Soulé, effort from range, forces Trubbin into a save. We have a corner. I want to believe we could do something. O'Donnell and also Gold at the near post. In the end, it's headed away. Butterworth, this is okay. This is nice. Amadou Ba, the Guinean international, he was given a work permit. It should be a sign of quality, and he very nearly got an assist there. Stephen Gold's effort blocked by the defence. Denilson now maybe caught out of position, and Brereton Diaz bringing it forward for Reading up the other end. It's end-to-end stuff. I mean, we learnt last year that we're better at scoring than defending. I thought in bringing in a load of new defenders, maybe we would have solved that problem. To be fair, Reading haven't actually created a lot in this game, despite being a goal ahead. We've had an XG of over 1. We just need to find the back of the net with these chances. We've created a lot, but we do find ourselves open here. Gordon gets in behind. He hits it over. Maybe let off the hook a little there. Free kick just before half-time. Was desperately hoping we can make it into the break and have a word with the players, but instead it's another set piece. It's Bernard with the goal, and sadly for us, it's 2-0 Reading, and to make things worse, Fraser has picked up a knock and I believe wants to come off the pitch. The top earner plays left back, injured on his debut in the first half. Things you love to see. Okay, so I'm going to tell the players this is as good as over. That was pathetic. And elsewhere, I am going to take off Fraser here and just play it safe. I actually think the best approach to take here is to move Shipley to left wing back. I know he's not the best player going forward as a wing back, but he is solid defensively, which I feel like is pretty important for us. And then we'll bring in Terry Taylor in at the back. Still scared about Denilson, but I don't want to make a second sub at half time, especially in a game where we're 2-0 down. I don't want to use 2 subs on the defence. We're going to hope that he can be, well, better, shall we say, in the second half, and well behaved, perhaps most importantly. Anyway, an hour gone now, 15 minutes into the second half without a single highlight, but finally something happening. Can we materialise an opportunity? Amadou Ba plays it forward to Duffy. He was released by Norwich City, told he didn't have a future in football, but here he is in the Championship, and well, he was very nearly here, getting an assist. Nesbitt heads it wide of the post. 20 minutes left here. There's a point at which we have to go for it. I've paused the game. Stephen Gold is anxious and very, very tired. I think we have to take him off and play it safe. I'm going to bring in Cannoneer, of course, a player who has quality, has pace. Really wasn't amazing for us last year in League One. I'm hoping that it's going to be one of those illogical things in Football Manager where you go up a level and he just kind of plays better. So we're going to bring him into the team. And elsewhere, I'm actually going to bring in Rowan Richards here for O'Donnell, who's had an absolute Western Supermare ever performance. A 6.2 for him. We're going to give Smith some minutes. A chance to show us what he's all about. Is he like the hokey cokey? We shall see in just a moment. Is Smith like the hokey cokey? That's what I want to know. He's going to put his right foot in, his right foot out, in, out, in, out. He shakes it all about. Unfortunately, Reading still have possession. Richards at left back for them. Finds space from the byline, whips it in. Headed away, but only as far as Sanchez. I mean, from open play, we've looked great here. We've conceded from 2 free kicks, and then Amadou Baz just murdered a man at the back post. He just murdered a man at the back post. And now it's a chance for Reading to make it free. Evander steps up. He hits it. McDonald saves it and gets the rebound. I bloody love McDonald. To our assistant, to our coach, saying he's League 2 quality. Do one. I will say that with that, Reading have now surpassed our XG. But to be fair, it is a penalty. So, you know, that is going to massively inflate the XG. It's been a more competitive game than the scoreline would kind of suggest, I feel like. Maybe I'm just trying to come up with coping mechanisms, but I actually feel like we've done okay here. We might be caught open at the very end, but for a McDonald save, it was offside. It wouldn't have counted. Have we been good today? I mean, look, away from home against a team relegated from the Premier League last year, 2-0 doesn't seem that bad. We had 19 shots. On another day, perhaps we take some of these opportunities. Unfortunately, today wasn't that day. You know what? All in all, I think it could have been a more disastrous first game of the year. Yes, we're in the relegation zone after one game. Look, it's one game. Rome wasn't built in a day. The league isn't decided on day one. Just have a look at our salary per years because we've now played a match so we can see it. We are spending 2.32 million. You can see how much all the other teams are spending in this league. We are playing a completely different game to them. Between our reputation and our finances, it's a miracle that we're in this division. It'll be a miracle if we stay up here too. But stay up is exactly what we are going to try and do this year. It's going to be tough. Yeah, it's going to be tough. That's all there really is to it. Worth noting, we have got £500,000 transfer budget, £13,000 excess in wages too. There is an opportunity to bring in more players before the transfer window slams shut. Will I do it? I might look at one or two positions where we can strengthen things, but all in all, I want to remain loyal to the players that have got us this far and equally not try and spend too far beyond our means, especially because for the first time in forever, the club actually looks in a pretty good financial situation. All in all, though, I'm just excited to be here at FC United in the Championship. It is a challenge. It is a challenge I am relishing. I'm hoping that this year can be a success. We are going to try and make the most of it. Of course, we are going to be back tomorrow to see how things are going. I hope to see you guys then. And well, until next time, it is me, Jack. Thank you for watching as always. Drop a like on the video if you've got to the end. I'll see you all in a bit. I'm out.